going on, guys? Got a little turbo Civic ready for a tune. Rev 9 turbo kit, E-base special, stock B18B, USDM, right? B18B1. Oh, come on, camera. Gotta get in there. Base one. Oh wow. Can't zoom in on it. No. Yeah, I got a base map in this thing, got it cruising around pretty good. Now we're gonna do some full throttle pulls. Alright, I'm ready to do some tuning on this turbo UK coupe with a B18B swap. Got my wideband set up. It's a little gutted. We're gonna get this thing on a diet, get it light, keep it quick. Tuning on a Cobra RTP, chipped ECU, HCS. Let's get it. What's going on, guys? Tuning this B18B turbo UK coupe. Got it idling pretty good and cruising pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and do some turbo boost pulls. See if we can get into full boost. Let's get it. All right, guys, we're gonna do a full throttle third gear pull. I'm gonna watch the wideband. Guys, I did a little bit of cleanup on the fuel map. It was a little lean in some spots, so I added a little bit of fuel in the mid-range. This turbo spools pretty fast, even though it's a V18 non-VTEC. So we're gonna do another hit in a minute and see how it does now that I added some fuel. Alright, guys, got the data log recording. I'm gonna go ahead and do a full throttle pull. Hell yeah, bro. Third gear rip. Alright, guys, showing the customer real quick how to see if your intercooler is efficient, if your intake temperature sensor is not hooked up. So you want to do is take the pipe that's coming off the turbo, which is going to be this one, and this is going to go into the intercooler. And if this is super hot, then the first core will be hot, but after the intercooler core, the other tank should be cold. So this one's bone cold, so that's how you know it's cooling the charge air from the turbo through the intercooler. Well, this is real cold. This is not so cold, almost warm. But we got good air outside, so it's not gonna be too big of a problem. But just want to make sure heat soak is not getting into the actual engine. All right, guys, should be our last pull in third gear, full boost. Two-step. Just don't let it sit on the limiter too much.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what all that shit is though.
onto this car.
Onto my yard. Nah.
We are putting some corn juice in the city.
Some what? You said what now?
Some kern.
What we got over here? Some kern? Some e85? Some elote? 85-cent elote? Alright guys, so we're doing this the old ghetto way. In case you don't have an ECU that you can just prime, which I do, but I'm showing you already how to do it without a ECU. Cool. Basically, his return line was remote. So his return line is here, right? And instead of going back into the tank, we're taking return line and we're gonna pump. We're gonna let all the chump gas, as I like to call it, the 93. Well, actually, he already started. He put the 93 into that jug. So the 93 is going into the sedan since it's on. Never gonna see a corn juice. But after we return everything in the tank, we're gonna go ahead and fill it up with E85. Now, E85 down here in Texas is rarely 85%. It's usually 65 to 70, and then we're probably gonna have a gallon leftover gasoline in here. So we're gonna tune like around E60, and after that full tank drains, we're gonna fill it up for its first time at the pumps, and then we'll do the retune. And then this car will permanently be in a flex car. Not even flex, it'll be pump E85, which is anywhere from 70 to 75. During the summer, sometimes it is as high as 80 or 85, but it's really meant for flex fuel cars that can run any amount of flex fuel from, you know, E10 all the way to E90. But this is gonna be a strictly pump E85 car, so no flex fuel sensor here. I'm gonna recalibrate the ID1000s to corn juice fuel at all times, so homie's gonna have to keep up with only putting that fuel until he gets a flex fuel sensor. Then we would be tuning, which is tuned. Well, actually the main reason he's even doing this is because I told him 7 pounds is not a lot of boost. On 93 I can't put any timing. On this log manifold I can't put any timing, or else that pump gas will detonate. So what did I tell him? The easiest thing to do is get a better fuel that won't detonate, so we can get it to a better baseline. On skate, low boost, 7 or 8 pounds, but I'll be able to put a little bit more timing in it, and we're gonna use a knock light, which I'll show y'all in the next video when we're actually tuning this tonight. Not the next video, the next clip, because right now, as he puts that in, that tune's trash. And I try telling people, if they have high goals in mind, come to me on corn juice so you don't have to retune. But homie knows the deal. He wanted to feel that little chump gas tune. And he's laughing, but he knows that's his wallet. He just double paid for a tune.
Oh,
but hey, it's all about the process, man. It's not, you can't never go straight to the
hey,
you know, straight to the top of the goal that you have. Normally, you know, you set high goals and you work your way up, because if you set a high goal, you know, and you stress out to how do you get here to the top, the car's gonna burn you out. You know, don't make it stressful, guys. Get the thing running, get all the bugs worked out. We got a couple gaskets on this kit that need replacing because it's just been installed for its first time. So gaskets are gonna warp, gaskets are gonna blow out. We're gonna fix a couple of bugs, refine the kit, and then make some solid boost back on low boost, 8 pounds. But this time we'll have a fuel that I can add some timing into it. And still, even though it's ethanol, this log manifold does cause higher EGTs in the exhaust port. So the cylinder pressure is going to be higher than expected, even though it's on low boost. And the detonation deterrent from the ethanol is going to help, but we still can't reach the maximum potential, just for the fact that the exhaust gas can't go out as fast as it would as a normal header or equal length manifold. So we're going to put the knock light, even though we're on ethanol, and get a good baseline on the street. We're not going to get on the dyno just yet. Still going to be a low boost setup, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. All right, guys, we already got the car started on the E85 blend, probably about E40, but right now we're letting the whatever was in the return line or the rail, all the pump gas mix, get out of it, and it's going to slowly start to lean out. Actually, she's already pissed off. It's already going to shut off pretty soon. I'll be surprised if it idles. It probably has cold enrichment right now, but once it gets to the 19s, it's really not going to be able to stay on. The beauty of Bosch 1000s is they can idle this lean without shutting down. But basically, there's a lot of ethanol starting to run through this old baseline on 93 tune. So ethanol starting to get through the exhaust, through the fuel system now. It still smells like pump gas, so it's not fully there yet. But once that starts to smell like heavy like corn, it'll start to trim it. But yeah, this is just it's kind of getting the fuel that was in the fuel system, the pump gas out of it. It's going to start to mix more and more, and then once it shuts off, we'll start tuning on E85. I'm bad with that. All right, y'all are about to hear a lot of heavy breathing because homie's sick and obese. But anyways, Mr. Yorty here
Back in the
put
house.
what, 10 gallons about of E85? Roughly 10 gallons of E85 in his coupe after full tank of E85. So, but there's still a little bit of pump gas, pump 93. So on top of the pump E85 is probably around 60%. But anyways, we're gonna show you how this thing pretty much don't run anymore. Go ahead and try to start it. I'll show you for a quick second how lean it is. As you see, it goes straight to the 16s and barely can idle. So we're gonna have to kind of remap this thing. All we did was a fuel change, so basically I can just start from here. I don't know if I'm even recording the thingy thing, but I'm gonna highlight the whole fuel map, and then we're gonna add about 20% to start with. So you can see right there I'm adding 20%. Bam. We're gonna see where that gets us. So it just starts to richen up a little bit and stop misfiring. Oh, it went really rich. I only added 20%, but the scaler on here isn't always the best, and this is actually kind of still like a cold start tune, so we're probably getting a bunch of correction, but stop the misfire for now, and then we'll start tuning later. But basically I need enough fuel on his fuel map from the 93 tune, about 20% more, since we're going to have a lot of ethanol start going through. It's not quite E85, so it's not going to be that 30%, but it's just something to get it to stop misfiring. Right now you can see it's super rich, but we're running 8% correction right now. So once it warms up, then I can start trimming. But that 20% was just because there's so much ethanol that it was leaning out the original 93 fuel map. So 20% got it to idle rich, but then once this temperature ECT correction zeroes out and we're at operating temperature, then I can really tune the idle and maybe get it to drive. We'll see here in a minute. We might be spitting on them plugs a little too much. So what I'm gonna do is pull out 5%. You see -5. Try to get it to a little bit leaner. I don't want to be spitting raw fuel on the plugs. Milliseconds are around 2 milliseconds now. We were in the 1.4, 1.5 range at idle before, and now we're using 2 milliseconds just to idle, which is still rich, but the more the correction zeroes out, the warm-up factor, the more I can get the fuel map closer. And now that we got it idling on ethanol, we have basically a base map, but I want to go see if it smells good. Alright guys, you already put 2 jugs of E85 in here, but there was a little bit of gasoline, so we're probably idling around like on the E60 blend, but that smells very funky. I can't smell that good. What do you think? As it warms up and everything, like I said, as the correction zeroes out, we'll do some more fuel tuning, and maybe tonight we'll show y'all some pools. We might turn it up a little bit, but either way, the ethanol is going to be a good change because we'll be farther away from the detonation limit. But yeah, let me get the knock sensor out, and we're going to see where we're going to be able to put this. All right, fellas, in this bag, I have something very special. That if your tuner don't want this out, then he's on that ticking time bomb hot tune.
And if you can't afford it, you better walk out. But my boy's got a stock motor, and we're not trying to replace it same day like Cody. I mean, like some people. Don't worry about debt. It'll hold it stock motor life. He knows this motor's stock and it's not going to hold all this power. So the more cylinder pressure we throw at it, the more likely we are to detonate. So I bought this Tuner Nerd Knock Monitor Pro V3, and we're going to try to keep the stock motor alive. Now we know doubling the power on a stock motor is not going to live forever, but we're just trying to survive the tuning session and avoid detonation. So that's what this is for. It's a knock controller that I guess it kind of like converts or listens to the sound waves of a typical or a more modern Bosch style knock sensor. And it's a standalone system, so it comes with an EV1 plug, and then your USB goes to the laptop, so you can see the sound waves and also hear the combustion event. So normal combustion will have a smooth waveform, and then if we have any spikes or I hear the noise on the headphones, we'll know detonation when it happens, and we can let out or reduce timing. But anyways, you should always start on soft timing so you're not in the detonation threshold right off the rip. But we're gonna have to find a place. Can you get this off, Yordi? Get that out of there. We're gonna have to find a place on this B series, since B series and D series and mostly all the old school Hondas had like a very cheap style knock sensor, which I don't even know if this is a high compression engine, so it might not even have one. But anyways, OBD1 ECU can't do too much for you even if you did have OEM knock sensor. So I want to be able to hear, you know, what a Bosch sensor will pick up. And guys, a Bosch sensor will pick up every little noise. And with this Knock Monitor Pro box, the controller will actually allow me to watch the waveforms on the laptop, which I'll show y'all more later. But the hard part on these is adapting a Bosch sensor to a Honda block that never was engineered for this sensor. So we're gonna look for a good spot, and then when we find somewhere to put this on the block, we'll pick up with y'all on the laptop so we can hear combustion at idle, and then we'll start doing some risky business on the stock motor. Ain't that right?
Y'all stay tuned, man. It's about to get started.
Yordi's turn. Is it still slow, Amber? Here comes Yordi.